Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a fragrance from the house of Bond Number 9. Now Bond Number 9 is one of my favorite fragrance houses that I haven't actually gone through and done. They were created in the year of 2003, so they're a relatively new fragrance house. Their fragrances are all designed around the concept of New York. Different New York areas, different New York smells, and they want their parfumés to kind of create a fragrance that is that captures the essence of that particular area, something that will remind people of that area. So they got into it mainly because they wanted to start creating fragrances that went back to that old school way of high concentration of parfum in their fragrances. So all of them have between 18 and 22% concentration, and generally you're going to be getting a high quality fragrance when you buy Bond Number 9. You may not like the fragrance because they've taken their own really wild niche twist or view on it, but you can't really argue that they're all quality fragrances. So for today, I'm going to be reviewing Bond Number 9's New Haarlem. Here's the box. It says New Haarlem on it, and I really keep the boxes for most of my niche fragrances just because companies really put a lot of effort into their boxes, so it feels almost like a waste to throw away these boxes when so much effort has been put into them. So here's the box. Pretty classy. This is a 1.7. It's a sleeve that slides off, and inside would be the fragrance, but obviously I took it out. And here's the fragrance itself. So very well designed, and you really can't knock them on it. All of their fragrances actually maintain the similar bottle look and composition of that size, but they all have their different colorings for whatever fragrance it is. So for this particular New Haarlem, it's actually a clear bottle. It has yellow liquid that comes in it. It says New Haarlem on the seal around here. It has the serial information, the batch information on the bottom, and top comes off. And the only one thing that I would really like to comment on Bond Number 9 that I don't necessarily like is their sprayers kind of leave something to be desired. It doesn't really come off as a really good atomizer, but still, the fragrance itself, we'll kind of go over that. Now, again, this actually was released in the same year that they released their house, which was the year 2003. It was designed by Maurice Rousseau, a very famous parfumer who has created a lot of fragrances. Now, this is the 50 milliliter, and you can get this anywhere between the range of $160 to $100. And for the 100 milliliter, expect to pay between $160 and $230. So this is a very pricey fragrance that it's going to cost you a little bit of money. The best area to actually get this one, if you can, is search for it online for a discount, basically. If you buy it in the actual store itself, that's where you're going to pay those high prices for it. But again, you can get this discounted for a decent amount depending on where you actually go. Now, the top notes that this actually consists of are lavender, bergamot, and green leaves. Mid notes are cedar wood and coffee, and the base notes are amber, vanilla, tonka, and patchouli. So mixed all together, that comes off as a gourmand fragrance. It smells like breakfast. The very first time I smelled this, I actually did not like this fragrance. It smelled too much like breakfast, too much like maple syrup, and coffee mixed in. But after the second or third wearing, I really started to enjoy it. I really started to like it. So for that reason, I'd recommend anyone who tries this out, give it a couple wearings. If you don't like it immediately, see how it kind of goes on, and see if it kind of grows on you for that reason. The very top of this, when you first initially spray it, you're going to get something that smells a little bit sweet. You're going to get a little bit blast of freshness from the bergamot and from the green leaves that's going to come in, but that's going to quickly be absorbed or disappear from the fragrance itself. What you're left with is something that really smells like maple syrup, a really syrupy, really sweet smell that's going to have some dark coffee smell into it, almost like a burnt coffee smell. If you're thinking like creamy coffee, not really. Think of dark coffee, think of burnt coffee that comes off from this fragrance. So you're going to get maple syrup, coffee, and that's going to pretty much last for a while until it gets to the dry down, which is going to leave you with a coffee vanilla type scent. Coffee vanilla type scent that's going to really stay a little bit closer to your skin, but you're going to smell very sweet from that point on. So it's definitely a unique fragrance that's supposed to capture the essence of New Haarlem, and in my opinion, it actually does. Most African Americans really like sweet fragrances. Not all of them, obviously, but they really gravitate towards the sweet fragrances, and for that reason, New Haarlem is a neighborhood that was predominantly preoccupied by African American or Black people. And for that reason, it kind of captures that essence as well as like a fun upbringing, type of essence. So for that reason, I really think Bond Number 9 really nailed the ball here on capturing the essence of New Haarlem, the neighborhood. Now, the spelling is obviously different. It's actually got 2 A's on it. I'm not sure for the actual reason, so if you do know, please leave a comment or let me know why they actually spell New Haarlem different than the actual neighborhood is spelled. But either way, expect a really sweet gourmand fragrance when dealing with this. Now, as for the occasions that you can expect to wear this on, expect to wear this as either a date fragrance, a casual fragrance, and it even can work for a work fragrance. The type of person who wears this is the type of person that's going to be a little bit more bold, or is trying to project a little bit more of that bold or different type of projection or scent. So for that reason, anyone who does wear it, really, you can get away with it in almost any occasion for it. Age group, anyone can wear this. Teenagers up to, old people, up to, middle-aged people, anyone can get away with this fragrance. You really shouldn't shy away from this one because of your age. The only shy away indicator that I would give for it is obviously, price. Now, in terms of projection, this projects very well. This projects for an average of, on my skin at least, 8 hours is where you're going to get your real projection from it. After the 8 hours, 8 to 15 mark is when it's going to start dying down towards your body. It's still going to be greatly there. So people who come close to you are still going to smell you. They're going to smell that vanilla maple syrup type smell that's going to be still on you for that while. So in terms of that part lasts me anywhere up to like 15 hours. This is basically an all-day fragrance that you can spray on it and expect to last you all day. This is primarily a cold weather scent. In the heat, it starts to get a little bit too sickeningly sweet, just because the heat really amps up that projection and that concentration, that amplification. I've actually worn this when playing basketball. I was wearing it for the whole day, and everyone could smell me. Literally everyone could smell me. They all liked it, but they all could smell me, and that's just because I'd been running around all over the place and really spreading the projection for this. So this is a fragrance that I think is really meant for the colder months and for fall and winter. Now, in terms of try, buy, pass, I would definitely recommend trying this one. The people that are going to like this fragrance are people who like gourmands, who are into a little bit more coffee, vanilla scents, or are looking for a fragrance that really projects. If you're not into any of those things, if you don't like gourmands, if you don't like very sweet fragrances, you really want to keep away from this fragrance. It's not going to it's probably not going to appeal to you. The freshness that's in this fragrance doesn't last that long, so I can't really recommend you being appealed to this fragrance from the freshness. And now, in terms of similarities, this fragrance is actually similar to fragrances like MJ Legend, if you've tried that one out, Rojas Man. It's similar to one of the Joe Malone, I think it's Black Vetiver fragrances. It's very similar to it, but obviously it's not the same. This is really in its own ballpark, and it really is an excellent fragrance. This itself is a heavy compliment getter. It can be worn by both men and women. It really brings out the compliments, especially from women. They can definitely smell you, and whenever I wear this, I always get a couple of unsolicited comments. And whether it be because it's very strong, whether it be because it's very sweet, who knows, but they do love this fragrance. I actually took one of my other friends around when I was, searching for fragrances, and she actually commented, wow, out of smelling the Bond line, she loved this one, probably one of the top 3 that she actually liked. So in terms of an actual rating, I would give this easily a 9 out of 10. It's an excellent Gourmand fragrance. If you're a Gourmand lover, definitely pick this one up. A mainstay for me in the winter that I usually love to wear. And that about concludes it. If you have any questions whatsoever on this particular fragrance, feel free, leave me a message, leave me a note, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you, and take care.